систему, к примеру, вот я там ставил цель, мне надо там 1 000 000 человек. И я вообще как бы не представлял, как ее достичь. А потом сел, расписал, допустим, по системе, лет эта цифра, даже там больше что-то выходит. Вот. И это как бы, только надо все это сделать, и, то вышло, что мне надо за год или 5 или 8 поднять, и потом система это все дублицирует, и в конечном итоге за 8 лет эта цифра, даже там больше что-то выходит. Вот. И это как бы, только надо все это сделать, которую я хотел. Ну и принял решение, что надо реализовывать эту всю систему и запускать, и дальше, ну, как бы, двигаться так же. Также, ну, как бы, пастор Андрей Куксенко был, он, как бы, рассказал, что в основном мы как мыслим аналитическим мышлением, а не системным. То есть, допустим, что в детстве нам постоянно что-то надо разобрать, какую-то игрушку, чтобы посмотреть, как же там оно все сотворено. Это из-за того, что как бы, ну, мы мыслим аналитически, там какую-то деталь берем. То есть не отходим в сторону и не смотрим как на всю картину. И тоже как принял решение, что развивать системное мышление, ну, у себя, вот, с помощью литературы разных, так, практики. Вот, он рассказывал, что после ретрита там
мышления, и это касается всего, и взаимоотношений, и бизнеса, и творчества, и служения, и то есть если правильно распланировать свою жизнь по всем как бы ракурсам, то будет меньше уходить времени, и будет больше плода, и будет больше, но этому нужно научиться. Ну, научиться действительно успешных людей, у которых это работает. А вот еще то, что меня очень коснулось, как бы мы научены, что раз мы христиане, нам нужно духовно двигаться, как бы через дух, да? Ну, и у меня много друзей так, вот, у меня есть впечатление помолиться, я пошел помолился в тайную комнату. У меня что-то нет сегодня впечатления вставать, я не встану. У меня есть впечатление, как бы, вот, и мы как бы научились за своим чувством ходить, за духовностью ходить. И то, что вот пастор говорил, Иисус пошел по своему обыкновению в церковь. Не по чувствам, не по вдохновению, не по водительству Духа Святого, а написано по обыкновению. Вот.
We have started live stream of fellowship with Pastor Sunday on Sundays.
Так, а уже же прошел. Прошли. Ну, я же уже говорил в прошлый раз, кто ко мне обратился. Если кто ко мне обращается лично, тогда он уважает, почитает, тогда тот достоин почтения. А кто не обращается, значит он не считает. Я уважаю и прощаю. Вот так вот. Я тебе просто поэтому это кому-то надо обращаться через телевизор или через буклет или агитационную. А со мной надо поговорить, отвечать на мои вопросы. Я думаю, ну, короче, есть такое дело. Ой, я прошу прощения. Давай. Просто начали мне тут же задавать вопросы.
Уже, ну, сказала очень много всего, очень много. И то, что, о чем я говорила, что меня очень коснулось, что мы привыкли быть водимыми впечатлением, да, мы говорим, Дух Святой меня повел так, Дух Святой меня повел так. Если мне сегодня Дух Святой не ведет, то я
Приветствую вас.
пойду. Мне вот Дух Святой То есть мы не привыкли двигаться за планом, мы не привыкли просто пахать и работать в соответствии с своим режимом дня. И очень часто мы такие духовные, но время проходит, и мы очень мало плода приносим. Потому что вот то, что меня коснулось, чем я согласна, пастор сказал, что нельзя надеяться на свою плоть и на свою силу воли, потому что наша плоть нас все время подводит, и сила воли тоже. И наше как бы впечатление от духа может быть просто спрятанной ленью или нежеланием, ну или я устал, или еще что-то. И система, она подразумевает, что ты планируешь свою жизнь так, что этот план заставляет тебя двигаться в заранее намеченную цель. То есть как бы ты ставишь себя в подчинение людей. Например, если я собралась молиться по вторникам, значит, мне нужно договориться с людьми, которые мне будут звонить в этот вторник, в этот час. Они меня в покое не оставят. Мой будильник будет звонить, мой планшет будет звонить, у меня на стенке будет написано, что ты молишься. То есть везде обложить себя такими знаками, которые помогут мне двигаться, ну, если я хочу в чем-то двигаться. И как бы, ну, такую систему сделать, которая мне будет помогать прогрессировать, потому что мы очень часто съезжаем со своих планов грандиозных, и потом проходит 10.
Такая хватка, она просто прошла в эту, потом говорит, все, я и помогаю, и служу. Это сколько ты в церкви? Она сказала вообще, сколько лет ты в церкви? 3 лет, сколько месяцев.
She is not even here in the church. She repented like 7 months ago. She have visited many retreats, and she's 1 year in church. But when I met her, I noticed that she's very interested in learning. She's coming to retreats. She's growing, and I asked her how many months she was in God. She said just how many years she was in God, and she said just few months. So now it's one year, and I have noticed that she is going to be successful because she is very interested in what she's doing. She is maximalist. She's not doing something just to do. She wants to do everything the best way possible. She's very young, absolutely young, but this is her position. She's like a fire. She has, and I give respect to her. She knows 6 languages, and I thought that maybe she has many diplomas, but actually she has not a lot of diploma. Still, she is learning a lot. She says, I'm not ideal, that's why I have to learn. I've seen people like this in Ukraine, but usually these people are from intelligent families, from rich families. And maybe you, when you listen now, you also think that she is from the family, from intelligent family and rich family, and maybe you think that she doesn't have to think about money. She doesn't have to think about payment for her studies, but she's not. She's a very simple girl. She started to work from 10 years old. Vitaly, he's different story. He's very intelligent as well, and at home group, my home group, he heard an announcement in 2011 that I called people to join to my home group, and he responded to this announcement. He came one out of thousands of people. He responded to this, and he went. He heard this announcement in home group. There was a possibility to go abroad in Poland, and he used this possibility. He went there. He started to learn there, and then he built a business there. He was using all opportunities we were suggesting at the home group. So he was grown from nothing, from zero. You see, so these are young people, new generation. We had many times that we are the new generation, and we have great potential.
Виталий еще напротив моего дома когда-то долго работал. Потом мы узнали, что мы в одном университете учились. В общем, много чего.
We have interesting story because we was living very close. We were even studying in one university, and we didn't know each other. Vitaly, what would you say? We have met in November last year. It was unexpected because usually I do not do contacts with girls usually, but I have noticed her because she was very positive. Always she was. We became friends. She repented. About 4 months after she repented, we were friends.
Проблема, я хотів їй допомогти в цій проблемі. Ось, після я зробив пропозицію влітку.
And I made proposal in summer, this summer.
А там дуже багато правил.
And there are a lot of rules in the church. In Central Church, there are a lot of rules. You have to go through school for marriage before you get married, and there are 100 questions you have to answer before you make an engagement, and then you have to listen to a lot of recordings and answer a lot of questions. About 3-4 months this preparation took. So it was a long process to go through just to announce an engagement. Why? Because, you know, marriage is a difficult thing, so you have to prepare, because marriage is more difficult than any relationship. So you have to prepare. You know, today when I was passing with a car through some streets, I could see young people, young men are working with girls hand by hand, and I understand that those young people, they just don't understand what marriage is. If they would know what marriage is, they would just not even think about marriage. They would be doing what is important now. Today, people getting married, like marriage is the most easy thing that you can do in your life, but it's not true. It's the most difficult. There is nothing more difficult than marriage, especially in this country where most people are not ready, not prepared. They are not getting through preparation process before they are getting married.
хочу всех ободрить, что это нормально
And
писать работу, нормально.
I would like to say that it's normal to prepare for marriage. You shouldn't be afraid of this. You shouldn't try to avoid this. Like, I know stories when some people who wanted to announce engagement, they heard that they need to prepare themselves to go through these 150 questions and listen to all these audio tapes, and they just are going to another church where they will be blessed to announce the engagement. But we didn't decide to avoid it. We decided to go through this preparation, and now we are in the end of this. And I would like to add that the number of questions, and with the school Heavenly Climate in Marriage, altogether questions were about 500. I like that you have done this really with a lot of attention, not like most of people are doing this. Because most of people, they are going through preparation without paying a lot of attention to these questions. You see, those questions that we were going through, it's not very. It's like it takes a lot of time to go through this preparation. You have to listen to more than 20 audio tapes and to read a lot of books. But I believe that books and those audio tapes helped us a lot. I don't think that we would be so happy standing here if we wouldn't prepare. We have found in those books our weak sides that we should work on. Is there anyone who is prepared to announce engagement? You are only planning. You should already start. You shouldn't only plan, you should start. This couple already second time goes through the school. Yeah, I would suggest that you would start now, because it's a lot of knowledge you have to get. You have to have a lot of time for this. Did you prepare?
Значит, я закончил школу подготовки к брака, тоже купил все книги, насколько я готов жениться, пошел на ретриты, да.
Пройти анатомию брака, там вообще это минимум.
Это минимум, да. Это было тогда.
Minimum what you have to go through is through marriage anatomy lessons.
Нужно будет мне самому это все заново обойти. И вы знаете, так интересно, когда вообще Виталий это мой хороший друг.
I know Vitaly.
Как раз в прошлом году просто из друга, из брата перешел в ряды моего клиента, он как раз купил квартиру, знаете, в комфорт-тауне. А я занимаюсь мебелью под заказ, и он разместил у меня заказ. Я пришел туда в квартиру и говорю, слушай, ну у тебя, наверное, скоро появится жена, 100%. Я настолько это почувствовал, я прям все, я говорю, слушай, все, да. А они уже познакомились в это время, и когда мы начали в процессе уже работы, я смотрю, он как-то один раз пришел из спортлайфа, и я смотрю, он такой какой-то не свободен, такой счастливый в таком переживании. Я думаю, что-то не узнаю, он какой-то слишком в себе что-то ходит. Я говорю, что случилось? Начали разговаривать, он говорит, слушай, был только что там, занимался, все, пошел в сауну, вот, и увидел там девушку, говорит, и теперь не знаю, что делать, короче. Говорит, ну не то, что там, да. И он говорит, я не знаю, что делать теперь. Все, он растерялся, говорит, он себя хранит до брака, говорит, она же не из церкви, да. Ну, рано или поздно все тайно становится явным, знаете. И я говорю, слушай, говорю, я начал его поддерживать, вот честно. Как-то мы начали дружить, он начал открываться, рассказывать. И потом получилось, когда уже дальше время зашло, у Виталия был день рождения, и Даша пришла с подарками. Я прихожу к нему домой, открываю квартиру, вижу много шариков. Я такой, все, точно она пришла, короче. Она ему испекла пиццу, она торт, да. А до этого она угощала уже пиццу. Он говорит, слушай, она меня на пиццу пригласила. То есть я начал замечать, что она начала уже его почитать, слушать, узнал, что он дал ей книжку. И, то есть он говорит, все. И настолько быстро вот она как-то приняла все. И Бога приняла. И очень так быстро и в церковь пришла, стала в почтение. И когда я их увидел первый раз, когда она пришла в гости к нему на день рождения, я пришел. Я реально понял, что это все, это новая семейная пара в посольстве Божьем. Вот просто настолько они подходили друг к другу. Конечно, путь у них было испытание. У них был момент, когда вот уже даже после предложения, я знаю, так немножко открою такую вещь, было испытание вообще, надо ли дальше идти вообще с этим всем. Но знаете, как важно, что у нас сюда в церкви мы можем дать правильную поддержку. Есть учение, есть школа, есть лидеры, есть друзья, есть братья. И, конечно, мы, слава Богу, да, прошли это вот, приняли правильные решения. Вот я все время их поддерживал, все время молился, все время консультировал, звонил Виталий, звонила Даша, да. И вот они мне недавно сказали, вы знаете, я даже отложил сегодня определенное мероприятие, чтобы приехать ради этой помолвки, потому что я знал, что она будет здесь. И они говорят, благодаря тебе вообще наши отношения сохранились. Вам спасибо огромное, потому что это слова этих людей. И я помню, как они все проходили. Даша, она очень, во-первых, ревностно пришла к Богу, начала сильно молиться, уединяться, искать Бога. Она начала ходить на все ночные молитвы, не пропускать, начала ездить на ретриты. Она настолько начала набирать такой оборот огромнейший. Все. И Виталий, конечно, молодец, то есть, достоин жених, молодец, трудился, да, что тоже не сдался и что не оставил. Потому что была ситуация одна, я помню, тоже сложная, да. Когда я говорю, слава Богу, что Даша доверилась, да, мы позвонили, говорю, что мы очень близкие друзья, и были у них сложные периоды в жизни.
So I know that they had difficult questions in their life, and I was supporting them all the time. You know, sometimes they were calling at 2 or 3 o'clock in the night, and Vitaly, who is my friend, he was asking how to solve this or this problem. These people are working a lot, and you know, they were visiting all retreats, all studies, all lessons. They were always educating themselves. Vitaly also is very intelligent. My father, he met Vitaly, and he said after this that, you know, I never saw a person like so young person with so good and so nice library. And my father, he said that Vitaly, he shared his dream or his plan, you know, to become a millionaire next year. And you know, my father, he said, I never met someone who want to become a millionaire next year.
Слоями проходили. И главное, что вот они находили. Была ситуация, они не пускали руки, они черпали.
So every time that they had problems, they were continuing to find a problem, a solution to this problem. I'm very happy for you. So what you discussed, so do you agree that we will announce their engagement and bless them now? Father, in the name of Jesus, I'm praying for Daria and Vitaly, and please bless them, bless this couple. Give them understanding of each other, harmony in their life. Help them to stand in their marriage. Give them everything necessary in their life, physically, spiritually, materially. Let their life become a blessing to all other people that they will meet on their way. In the name of Jesus Christ and Father and Holy Spirit. Amen. I wish there would be more young people like this couple in our church, serious, intelligent. Did you notice new quality? Maybe, Vitaly, maybe you are from a family of rich people. No, I am from very simple family. I came to Kiev 18 years old. My father is a policeman and my mother, she is working as a cook, a chef cook. And I was born in Fastov, and I came here 18 years old, and I started to study banking. I was interested with entrepreneurship. And what about your friends? Maybe they were interested with drugs or something else. Yes, you know, all people around my age at my small town, they were interested with narcotics. Yeah, they were taking marijuana, and even me, I was doing this also, I was surrounded with people like this. But when I went to Kiev, I went to Orthodox Church, and I was ministering there. My grandmother, she is a believer. She was serving in a worship group in Orthodox Church. And when I came to Kiev, I also knew that I need God, I need to find church, and I was looking for church. In 2008 I repented, and I met one person who was an entrepreneur. He had a Bible, and he told me about God, and he said it's a sin to solve problems through witchcraft, which is in Ukraine is normal, and I heard that this is sin, it's not right. I went to church of Pastor Dzyuba, and I was there 1.5 years. And when this church stopped working, I went to Central Church in 2010. In 2010, I went to Pastor Sunday Home Group. At that time, I didn't have work, I didn't have anything. Like, I was working in Ukrasibbank, but I was fired because it was crisis, and I couldn't keep this job. And one time I saw an announcement in my mailbox, which was sent from coordinators of the Pastor Sunday home group, and I used this opportunity.
благотворительности. И
I was
бабушка,
ministering
и
in different fields.
в разные церкви, а сейчас я в
In
хвале и
I was
поклонении,
ministering
знают в служении клаунинга.
I was ministering in hospitals. I was helping to old people, different things. But now I am in ministry of worship
Тоже мне помогали очень много и материально.
of Pastor Clowning, and they helped me a lot. And my parents also helped me a lot. We will meet.
И родителями Дарьи, вот, и мы их
We will meet also my parents and parents of Daria soon. They know they already happy about our decision.
Да, наша компания называется Евростади, мы занимаемся образованием в Польше.
My business is Eurostudy. We do education. We organize education in Poland.
Открытие офшорных компаний в Европе.
We are
То есть
doing
много направлений связано с Европой.
documents for offshore companies in Europe. We are doing
Благодаря тому, что
organizing visa
все
for
постоянно растет, приходят новые идеи.
for European countries, for those who want to travel or work or go to Europe.
Для того, чтобы что-то больше взять, упорядочить в себе, систематизировать файлы в себе прежде всего.
And I'm working on myself a lot because you have to systemize yourself, not only to work on your business, but also you have to organize yourself because you are resource. And I went through many retreats. And what would you say? What will you say about this retreat, the last one?
Очень сложный, надо думать,
You know,
очень
it's
сильно.
very difficult retreat. You have to think a
Работать
lot.
головой надо.
You have to work
Ну и
with your head.
второго
It's
уровня,
a
да. И когда я
retreat,
был
classic retreat of
первого
second
уровня,
level.
помню, что
When I was
приезжали
on
пастыри,
retreat,
пастыри,
first level retreat, I remember there were a lot of pastors, apostles
великие, успешные на то время.
at that time when it was a first level classic retreat.
Сейчас
But now I can see that simple people came to retreat, but people who
и, конечно,
are desperate for
приезжали
this knowledge.
ретриты, топ-менеджеры, пастыря.
And I
которые
think that this retreat should be visited by pastors, by top managers, but those by people that have a high level. You know, I think it's very high level of a classic retreat. I was shocked that pastors and leaders, they didn't come. You know, pastors, they are already in the kingdom of God. Everything is fine already there.
Я думаю, что во мне тоже есть такой как комфорт. Да? Он когда
You know, I think
приходит,
it's comfort. I feel also something like this. When the comfort comes, you want to relax.
На самом деле вот это учение, которое было на втором уровне,
You know,
оно
this
для
teaching that was on second level of retreat, it was for top managers. It was
для руководителей, для руководителей страны.
for leaders of country, of some businesses, corporations. It was very high level retreat.
ну, такой шок у меня, что не приезжают.
And I was surprised that people that are holding high positions, they didn't come. They didn't come. Only a few pastors.
Ну, немного, да. То есть немного. То есть это показывает отношение к пастору, к сожалению. Это и показывает и то, что человек, он расслабляется, когда приходит
And I think it shows
или приходит
how do we treat
комфорт,
pastor,
будет успех какой-то,
how do we behave when we have
уже
some
level,
kind of
уровень,
success or any
если
level of
у меня
results.
уровень, почему я буду сюда
So people
приезжать,
think that
что
they have reached something and they know already everything and they don't think they should come. But I
знаю, что он
do not
меня
I did not
помочь
ashamed
выйти
to come. I was not ashamed to come.
на другие уровни общения,
And
уровни контактов, на другие идеи.
I understand it gave me a lot of ideas, a lot of systems,
Думаю, что
new level of
помог
contacts.
первый ретрит,
I believe that
в моем личном
same as first retreat helped me to grow,
второй ретрит, но его нужно более глубоко
same
прорабатывать,
way
чем
also the second retreat will help me. Second level of classic retreat will help me a lot, but I have still to work on it.
которое нужно выполнять каждый день. То есть это для меня это сложность колоссальная. Потому что мою жизнь
It's
сейчас
very
я живу
difficult for me
комфортабельно, да?
to change things that I have now because I'm living in comfort.
Ну, так называется житловой комплекс. Да. Да. Там Черновецкий сделал проект большой, он построил закрытого типа.
I'm living in
Да, можно сказать, мини-город.
building comfort,
теннисный
building
и
building
сауны,
like center for a living zone that is called a comfort. Even the name of this living zone where I'm living, it's comfort or comfortal. This
Поэтому,
this
я
place was
думал
built
о
by
комфорте.
team of Chernovetsky, and I'm living there. I used to live there as well.
Да, урок такой, что нужно сейчас
Daria
с
says.
уровня этого выходить
And
с
my
комфортной
lesson
зоны,
from this retreat that I have
входить в
to
рутину, чтобы эта рутина, как говорит пастор
to
Сергей, она
to stop live
попала
in the comfort, and I have to put myself in routines that will lead me to my goals and to results that I expect to have.
генеральное решение.
This is the most important decision I took from this retreat.
Что пастор Марина скажет о молодежи? Вот такой?
Pastor Marina, what you will say about this young couple?
Потому что вы единственный пастор опять.
Because you are the only pastor here again.
Ну, во-первых, я вас поздравляю. Вы
Кристина не была на их помощь.
First of all, congratulations.
вы очень такая красивая пара.
You are very beautiful couple,
Такие
very
глубокие.
rich
Да,
and
вас
deep.
приятно смотреть, вас приятно слушать.
It's nice to look at you and to listen to you.
Общаться людям с вами, дай Бог вам
People will be
процветать.
blessed
Ну,
by
что я,
communication
честно
with
говоря,
you.
горжусь нашей церковью, что
I'm proud by our church, with our church, that in this church there are difficult
Даже некоторые люди переходят такие здесь такими условиями не женятся.
there are
Переходят туда, где попроще. Карол Наталья мне только что говорила вчера в одной церкви. Что вы сказали?
that I'm happy that in our church there are conditions that that demands that you have to go through
Часто переходят, потому что
to
жениться
announce an engagement, so you have to be prepared. And I know that many people, they don't like to go through this process, and even sometimes people, they leave church and they go to other churches just because there are no conditions to announce engagement. As pastor says, preparation for marriage, it is 70% of success in marriage. So what I can see, you are very serious about this. It means that it will be more easy for you to go through all challenges that you will have in marriage. So this is an example for all who want to get married. I'm very proud that such couples, young and prospective, are in our church, and I believe you have a good future. You see, these young people, they already earn $2,000 a month, and many men are saying that they don't know how to do it. How old are you? 28. They are 28, and they already have bought their own apartment. A person 20 years old is building his own business, has his own apartment. So it's not only important that you bought apartment, but it is important which apartment you bought. This complex where they are living, it is named Comfortal, is fashionable, and you know, he's living independent starting from 18 years old. English Lord, look at him. He looks like English Lord, and even she also looks like she's a foreigner, not Ukrainian girl. It looks like they are different. They have quality, high quality, like jewelry. She knows 6 languages, imagine. And sometimes, you know, it's so difficult to for someone to learn even one language, English, but she knows 6 languages, and she works a lot. I know people like this that are intelligent, successful in what they are doing, but usually they are coming from rich families. They went to English schools abroad, colleges, universities abroad, sent by their parents. But this couple built themselves.
На самом деле, правда, я в церкви недавно, и я здесь
You know, I'm only 4 months in church,
я, конечно, очень поражена, пастор.
and I'm shocked, actually. I'm grateful to you
Такая церковь, существует такая система,
that there is a system like this, there is a church like this, where people
в моей жизни был, да, я в системе, да, в системе государственной, частная практика, частные организации, но всегда это надо было получать знания, вот, и всегда начинается все-таки из духовного роста, системы построения себя как личности. Наверное, такие
тоже православная, я тоже стала. Много искала общения, именно общения духовного роста, духовного состояния, поддержки, там, где можно брать примеры с других.
Миха, это выключается и прерывается трансляция. Вот так
На
вот.
самом
Не слышно
деле,
ни звука, ничего, когда вот так
все
включается. Очень часто.
о том, что получу я, да, а вот как здесь же совсем как бы другая идея. Вот эта пара для меня это тоже удивление. Успеха. И на самом деле действительно и как сын, которому я стараюсь ценности, ладно, 16 лет. Ценности, да, он уже один раз приезжали мы вместе, я просто после ретрита он у моей мамы, поэтому не приехал. Вот. Но, конечно, я впитываю здесь.
I'm surprised with what I see. I'm happy and I'm taking a lot from this example. Valentina, I think that you also you will have the same story. You will have the same story. I see that you already came to the third retreat. You are only 4 months in God, and you already 3 times came to retreat. Every month she goes to retreat. I am happy that you accepted me in a home group, your home group. You know, 15 years I thought that I know a lot of things, but
всегда я делала чью-то работу.
because of these retreats, I understood who am I, where do I go. After this retreat, after this example, I want even more to be near you, to be surrounded by people from this church. And I would like to tell about Pastor Christina. I have repented in her church. I was before in Orthodox Church. When I was praying before, I was praying to Jesus, but I couldn't understand who is God and who is Jesus. But Pastor Christina, she showed by example who is God. And about this couple, I would say that my congratulations, and I congratulate you, wish you growth and success. You know what I learned also from Vitaly? He is really respectful to his parents, to his spiritual parents, and to his you know, he gives a lot of money to his parents, to his he treats Darya on high level. She was working in an international company, and he said that you know, you should stop working in a company and you should open your own international company. You know, I work with these people already for 1 year,
поменялся по отношению
And
к
I have changed also a lot because I could see his example. He is a very
вот иногда
strong
видите, со
mentor.
стороны она еще сильнее, да? Человек, который, ну, говорит, они здесь о себе, они говорили это все, а со стороны вот,
Я знаю Виталия Игоревича еще до того, как он вообще начал Евростадию. Я еще
And I know
когда он жил в съемной
Vitaly
квартире.
before he
И я
started
увидел,
his
что
company
произошло через год, потому что
Eurostadia.
человек купил в Комфортауне трехкомнатную квартиру. И
He
сделал
bought
новый,
not
качественный,
only
дорогой евроремонт.
apartment, he bought
Купил дорогую
apartment with
мебель,
3 rooms.
оборудовал, создал всё, то
It
есть он
is
подумал уже
fully
заранее о
equipped
семье,
with
о детях.
furniture and
Даже
everything
дела
that
еще
is
так.
needed.
То
And
есть
he didn't
уже
know
потом
Daria
они
at
уже в
that
процессе,
time.
когда купил квартиру, Дарья утверждает, я просто не знала о их знакомстве, но я уже узнал, когда, я говорю, что Виталий перешел уже из друга и брата просто как моим клиентом стал, и я ему делал мебель в квартиру. То я уже узнал, когда уже они
Vitaly, he was my client because I'm doing furniture and I was preparing, doing furniture for his apartment.
И знаете, для меня, конечно, еще большой уровень, то, что они сохранили себя.
And it's also a great example for me that they have
разъехались, разошлись, то есть как бы и они все единодушно,
They were
согласовывая в послушании они начали делать.
listening to their spiritual parents. They were keeping them clean. They were praying a lot. They were asking God to show them the way. They are very deep people. They were keeping them pure in front of God in their relationship, and they even they were living in one area, and they started to live in separate even areas, you know, so that they can keep them their relationship pure. I have a mother, she's taking care about me, and I had also a brother who died in the hospital because he had epilepsy. And Daria, she also has 2 sisters. She's younger. Her mother is 69 years old.
Потому что грустно уже.
My parents, they are 55 years old each.
Я знаю, что Дарья, она также восстановила отношения с родителями.
And I know that Daria, she also rebuilt her relationship with parents. They are doing business, they are very faithful in church, and they are very faithful. You know that they will not miss their ministry.
И как-то вообще, не знаю, произвольно попал вообще, ну, как бы стал другом этой семьи, этой домашней группы. Многие даже думали, что я их не домашней группе. Нет, мы просто хорошие, близкие.
You know, I'm a friend of this couple, and also even in this home group where Vitaly and Daria are, I also come to this home group. They have business, they have church ministry, and they are taking responsibility for their parents. They are traveling abroad, and even they are doing lessons for children in schools.
Он ничего не скажет, да, просто...
And when you look at
Никто его никогда
them,
не замечал особо, никто его никогда не... Даже никто не замечает, а он просто скромно.
Я говорю, хочу сказать спасибо огромное.
when you look at them, you can see them very humble. They are very modest.
Он включал эту кровать, ложил меня, и он говорит, я не буду тебя жалеть, я буду делать тебе больно, потому что тебе надо меняться.
When there was a massage bed from Nuga Best, and he have put me on this bed, and he have put the program in this massage bed that was really hurt. And I said, and he said that, you know, I cannot make a more soft program because you have to change. You have to have results from this massage, so you will pain.
Тебе надо ехать на бизнес-ретрит к пастору Сандею. Он говорит, я тебя освобождаю сейчас от обязанностей, которые ты должен мне, потому что у нас договор. Он говорит, я тебя освобождаю от этих обязанностей на время ретрита, и я тебе разрешаю поехать его пройти. Я настаиваю.
We had a contract. I had to...
Создал свое предприятие по производству мебели под заказ. Благодаря этому человеку.
I was doing my job and I was doing furniture in his apartment, and after some discussions he said that I have to go to retreat for businessmen. I've been sent to this retreat by Vitaly, and after this retreat I have opened my own company. I'm listening about this young man for some time, and I wouldn't say even that you are 28 years old. It looks like you are very grown up.
Да, просто у меня есть такой дар, я общаюсь больше взрослыми. Мне сложно, да,
You see, the reason is that I am communicating mostly with grown-up people, and my communication is with people that are older than 40 years old. It is more easier for me to communicate with those people, and maybe because of this you have impression like this, that I am older than I am. And Daria, she has different gifts. She is very easy building relationship with young people.
От там 15, от 17 лет она вообще умеет контакты строить, а мне
She's building relationship with people 15, 16 years old very easily. Maybe this is the reason. You see, I just notice inside of you some kind of weight. When I hear stories like this, I want to make a movie about you. Pastor Marina, are you doing movies? You have a child. How old is she? She's 14. He's 14 years old. Who has children? Parents who has children. I would like to ask a question from you. When you hear a story like this, what is your dream about your children? Would you like to have a child like this?
Мы очень... Конечно, все хотели бы таких детей,
Of
которые
course,
почитают,
all
уважают,
parents would
ценят,
like to
конечно,
have
хотели
children
бы.
like
Но
this
насколько я
who
знаю, и мы так воспитывали детей, и мои знакомые, мы решили детям дать все, что мы сами не
respect
имели, и мы баловали своих
their
детей.
parents. But as I
И
know, most of parents, they were
они
trying to give to their
не
children
по-другому
everything
решали совсем, не
they
ценят
didn't
то,
have
что
by
их знают, у
themselves
них претензии, что им вы им
when they were
дали или
young.
еще что-то.
And
И
that's
вот,
why
ну, Дарья
we
сказала,
have
что она
grown
с 10 лет работала. Я
we
подумала,
have
я
grown
бы не хотела,
children
чтобы моя дочка с 10 лет работала. Если бы моя дочка
that
пошла с 10
are
лет работать, мои
egoists.
мама,
Daria
все мои
said that
родственники сказали,
she
что
was
плохая
working
мать,
from
правильно?
10
Ну,
years
как ты ребенка
old.
в 10 лет
If
пошлешь
my
работать?
child
Детский
would
дом.
go
Но посмотрите, какой плод.
to
Мне хотелось
work
просто, чтобы... Я знаю,
starting from 10 years old, I
мне
imagine what
хочется,
would
я знаю, что это
my
записывается, мне
relatives
хочется очень многим
said.
молодым девушкам дать
What would
послушать,
they,
если Дарья
what would
согласится,
my
чтобы рассказать о
friends
себе,
say?
где
Like,
она
why
работала
did
в
you
10
send
лет.
child
Я не
to
понимаю, где
work?
может ребенок, девочка работать 10 лет, и о себе рассказать,
But
как она
when I
росла.
see a
Потому что
result
плод
like this,
красивый, и действительно
when I
хочется
see that
думать,
she
что она где-то
has
в английском замке
success,
воспитывалась, потому что очень красивая.
I'm interested
Да,
in
расскажи о
where
себе,
she was
если можно,
working
вот расскажи,
from
потому что это
10
очень
years
сильное
old. I
свидетельство
can
для
see that
девочек.
she has results in her life,
10 лет
and
я работала у сестры.
when I was 10 years
Она
old,
же
I was
работала
working
в компании,
in-
студия Эль
with my
называлась, которая ранее
sister.
записывала все
She was working
передачи в сфере, ну вот музыкальные передачи, были концерты, тогда звезды только
She was
начинали.
working
Скрябин, Ирина Билык, Пономарев, Эль
with a
Кравчук,
company
вот такие
that
вот.
is a media company. They
Да,
were
как-то так.
doing audio.
Нет, не 90-х, уже позже. Я помогала такую простую работу
They were
делать,
doing
декорации
audio
готовить
recording
для сцен, для всех.
for
Ну, другие
popular
передачи
groups in
были, но я
Ukraine,
как бы
and my
не особо
sister, she was
запомнила
doing decorations
интеллектуальные
for
беседы
the
и,
stages, and I was
ток-шоу,
helping
поэтому
her
единственное, что мне
to
запомнилось,
do
это
these
все
decorations, and I was
работали.
in this
Как ты жила?
surrounded by those people, by stars, by artists.
И заракала. Ну, меня просто попросили помочь. Я не знала, что мне будут платить деньги в долларах. Я просто согласилась, хорошо, я помогу, у них не хватало рук. А в итоге я уже могла поехать в отпуск. Руками вырезала, клеила, ну как, это ж искусство, можно сказать. Но это временные работы, то есть я не постоянно и училась в школе.
Part-time, I
работала,
was
у меня
helping,
получалось.
assisting my
Плюс я в то
sister
время
at
занималась
this
профессионально спортом,
decoration
плюс мои иностранные
job.
языки, поэтому я только, когда
I was also
успевала
doing
что-то
sports,
делала.
I
Еще
was
я помню,
going
я
to
зарабатывала
school,
на том,
I
что я
was
контрольные работы одноклассникам, богатым писала. По
I
немецкому
was
языку.
learning different languages,
А с
and
15
I
лет,
was
нет,
writing
в
also
11 где-то
works,
я предложила
homeworks
папе,
for rich
который мне
children in
покупал
my
какие-то
school.
кукурузные палочки, на всю жизнь их запомнила. Он покупал как ребенку, я говорю, но ко мне папа достаточно строго относился, он меня чуть ли не с рождения Дарья Владимировна называл. Это отдельная история. Но я говорю, пап, ну мы тогда были на ты.
My father, he was very strict.
Купи мне, пожалуйста, палочки, я же их продавать могу. Ну и мы в деревне, как бы все ездят на дачу, я все лето эти кукурузные палочки продавала.
And
Первый бизнес.
I remember I was doing my first business.
Ну, там вот где-то у меня был спорт, поэтому я не сильно...
And my first business was corn sticks. I asked my father to buy corn sticks so that I can resell them. And I was a young reseller of corn sticks.
И пришлось выбрать что-то одно, или учеба, или спорт. Да, после школы.
After school, when I became older, I had to choose between sports and studying languages, and I have chosen studying.
С другими детьми немецким языком, потому что мне было скучно, мне какая-то часть лексики передалась генетически, у меня была бабушка, которая преподавала немецкий.
My grandmother, she was a teacher of German language. German was easy for me, so 16, 17 years old, I was also already a teacher of German language. I was just assisting, helping children, and I was paid for this. I was working as a promoter.
В Интеркар, я помню, это импортер Volkswagen раньше был, сейчас уже во всех уже почти как-то я уже была связана со всеми автомобильными компаниями до этого момента. Ну, мелкая работа, у меня тогда была подработка, ну, я не каждый день работала, то есть в то время я откладывала очень много денег, потом я просто чаще ездила за границу к сестре, опять же, училась на каких-то курсах в Австрии, Германии, когда это
I
было.
was usually working part-time, and I was saving money. I was saving money and going abroad a lot. I was going to visit my sister.
Начала в 10 лет на соревнования в Польшу ездить.
Daria was asked when she started to go abroad. She started 10 years old when she was going for championships, sport championships.
Ну, там такие хорошие стипендии, тебе гостиницу оплачивают, проживание, учат тебя праву Европейского Союза, я тогда училась. За свой счет я к сестре ездила на курс.
She was going to study for studying abroad on European programs. Sometimes this course gives you abroad. This course gives you more even than you can get in the university. I was going to Austria, Germany. I don't think I'm so cool as you say. Actually, I don't feel like this. Who motivated you to study? Your parents? No, I love my parents, but usually they were very strict. They were not very interested with what I was interested, have been interested. So they didn't push me to study. It just happened because school was next to our home, and this school was really good. I didn't have any support from my parents, unfortunately. They were not rich, I mean support material. They had two more sisters. She had two sisters. They had parents had two more daughters, and she couldn't be supported by parents. Daria says that sometimes she wanted to have some new clothes and she couldn't have because her parents didn't have money. So my mother and father, they said, if you want some new clothes, you just earn money and you can buy. So she had difficult conditions, and she wanted to build herself. Thank you so much. I would like to say,
Да, и когда я услышала, что в нашей церкви такие требования к мужчинам, которые хотят жениться, что у них должна быть свадьба,
When I
я
found
должна
out
быть
that
машина,
in our
должна
church
быть
there are
муж,
so
должна
strict
зарплата, если
conditions for
мужчины
men to
кто ж теперь выйдет
do
замуж?
a proposal,
Это же кошмар. И вот когда был
to
женский
announce an
ретрит,
engagement,
да, да, и когда был женский ретрит,
when I heard
у нас
about
было
this, I thought, oh
первое
my
такое
God,
яркое
who is
свидетельство,
going
да, вот
to
Оксана
make a
Бандера,
proposal now
она,
after these
ну, очень
conditions?
яркое тоже свидетельство, как девушка себя сохранила до брака, и как
But
ее
when I was on
жених,
retreat for women,
как он
I
просто,
heard
ну, вот,
one
выполнял все, что
testimony
нужно, все требования.
about
Он
a
там
girl
таких
who,
планок себе наставил, такого
about a
достиг,
woman
чтобы
who
вот действительно всё
was
соблюсти, и на ней
saving her
вот
pure,
я сижу такая, тогда
herself
слушаю,
pure
думаю,
before marriage, and the
поставил такие
man who
требования, потому что, ну,
wanted to
оказывается,
get
это
married
важно.
with her,
Оказывается,
he
ну, как бы, ну как, ну, в наше время, ну что же
he
делать?
was doing
Либо
everything
такое,
that is
видели,
possible
да,
just
я
to
думаю, что это
earn
очень круто,
her
когда у нас
attention.
такие пары,
Uh,
которые действительно они достигают поставленных планок, да, потому что почему?
And,
Были свидетельства,
Because of these
мужчины
conditions that our church
женились после этого, то вот эти
that
жены
that there
приходили,
there are in our church, because of
вы
these
знаете, мне
conditions
было
that
понятно,
are in
мужские
our
ретриты, потому что это действительно
church,
качественные мужья.
we have
И женщины,
high
которые проходят
quality
женские ретриты,
men,
качественные жены.
high quality
Меня
women
приглашают
that are
приезжать на
really
мужские
desirable because they are
Да, да, им,
quality
как вот,
people.
когда люди слышат о таких требованиях,
When people they hear about such
я
conditions,
не буду называть название церкви, но да, у меня есть много друзей пастырей из других церквей, и вот в одной из таких церквей
sometimes they are afraid, but actually it is a good thing.
многочисленная, да, там много
There is
пастырей,
one story
но,
about other church. I will not say this the name of this church.
он учит, и все. Вот, и, ну, как бы, и не интересуется даже, чем живут пастыря, если у пастырей нету служений, там нет домашних групп. То есть, как бы, вот пришли все на служение,
And shortly about this church, there is only one
домашних групп,
senior pastor who is teaching. He's the only one teaching. Other pastors are not teaching. They don't have home groups. They don't have
конечно же,
possibility
когда
to
у нас в церкви
develop their own ministry.
ни от кого
And
ничего не
actually,
требуют
there are
вообще,
no
ничего.
demands in this church. So sometimes people who are meeting conditions like conditions that we have in our church, they decide to run to such a church where there is no conditions like the one that I have just described.
Христианство применить к этому агрессивной среде за церковью, да? Потому что мир, он это агрессивная среда, которая тебя постоянно искушает.
You know, the world is really aggressive,
И у христиан очень много вопросов,
and
как вот эту Библию применить к жизни в мире.
Christian people, they have a lot of questions on how to practice what they learn from Bible.
Про христиан, да,
It's
когда муж
relate.
по Библии
It's relating
просто
about
уничтожает, да. Ну,
about
если у тебя нет
related
домашней
to
группы,
marriage, related to relationship.
ну, потому что вот на женских ретритах озвучиваются такие драматические истории, их много.
And when you go to women retreat,
Где нет домашней группы, где
you can hear such stories a lot.
ну, я не представляю,
And that's when I heard this, all these stories. I just don't imagine how people can make a proposal, how people can
здесь собирается
announce an engagement and get married before they go through preparation, and without such conditions.
что такое домашняя группа? Это когда мы же не можем, вот, допустим, вот даже сейчас, если каждый начнет подходить
People, they hear
такая в жизни проблема.
about these conditions in our church, and then they are running to other churches just to do what they want to do. But let's say this church that I just described, there is no groups, home groups. What does it mean? It means that there is no development for leaders, because when we are doing home group, you are praying for other people, you are supporting them, you are teaching them. If someone has questions, he can ask these questions on the home group. So thousands of questions there are people who are not going to home group, they cannot solve these questions. They cannot find these answers because sometimes it's not enough preaching. It's not enough books. They need this kind of support on home group. And when you are a leader of a home group, you have to prepare for these questions. You have to prepare to answer, to help them, so you are growing. What I hear now is that most of churches have a format like this. They have ministry one time a week on Sunday, and that's it. No demands, no conditions, nothing is pushing you. Most of churches that are not Embassy of God, they are functioning like this, in comfortable mode, comfortable Christianities. No one is demanding anything. You just bring your offerings and you are free. You just have to come one time a week and that's it. You know, Pastor, I think that this is a catastrophe. Usually all preachings, they are not enough for people to understand. It's not enough just to hear a preaching and go home. You have to, after the preaching, you have to discuss it. You have to dig deeper. Usually when preaching is just finished, people are going out of church and you ask them what it was about, and they cannot say, they don't remember. That's what happens usually with people. So without home group, all these topics that were raised on a Sunday ministry, they are lost. So without home groups, I think it's difficult. So I believe that it's a catastrophe when you live from Sunday to Sunday. In this format, I was living when I was doing a business. I had a difficult period with business, and I just was going to the church every Sunday, only Sundays, and thanks God that my business was connected with Christianity, so with the service. So we had the night prayers, so we had the ministry. But still, I felt like I am falling out of the system. So going into the church every Sunday is just not enough. One comment I would like to give about the couple. And after night prayers, sometimes we are gathering to take one car to go home. And I didn't know this couple yet. After night prayer, we gathered and we was discussing who goes to which area of Kiev, and I met this couple. They were not engaged, of course, not married, and I'm asking them, "Are you man and wife?" And they said no. I asked, "Are you engaged?" They said no. So you see, when I just saw them for first or second time and I met them, my first thought was that they are a couple, that they were a couple. You see, coming back to retreat for women, I heard so many stories about women who are working a lot to support family, to support children, to support even husband. And it's so difficult. Those women are so tired. And you can see that these women are covering all needs of their husbands. And it's not how it should be. Men, they have to support the family and to cover all needs of the family. And this is when I can see someone who is prepared to do this, then I am happy. You know, this has to be normal. It should be. It's not only possible that it can happen, that man supports a family. This is how it should be. Unfortunately, in our country, at that time, men are struggling to earn money for an apartment. From what I could see, I thought it's not real. Because of the time, because of the crisis and everything. I know brothers, I know men who want to get married. They know that there are conditions in our church that they have to have apartment or home to invite his future wife there. So they started to build business and they started to earn money to be able to provide a home for future wife.
Те, кто еще не вышли замуж, особенно те, кто не имеет детей, у многих женщин катастрофа по этому поводу, да? И вот в этой книге очень замечательно написано, расписывается, что это просто стереотипы, навязанные обществом веками. Для мужчины построить дом, посадить дерево, родить сына – стереотип, а для женщины выйти замуж, родить ребенка, иначе она неполноценная женщина. Это,
There are stereotypes, and from women retreat for women, I understood that most of women, they have a stereotype that they have to get married and to bear children to be a successful woman. You know, you have to be free to take decision not to bear children or to get married when you want 30 years old or bear children after 40, let's say. They take these decisions very free. They don't. They are not tied with those stereotypes. Same as women, they have stereotypes like this. Men also, they have stereotypes that they want to get married for some reasons. And because of these stereotypes, because of wrong aims and goals for the marriage, there are a lot of pain in marriage, and it's catastrophe that it happens like this, that people are getting married because of some stereotypes in society. What I think is that before you are getting married, you should understand who you are as a personality. You have to be healthy, for a healthy personality. In our society, sometimes people are broken and they cannot get married when they are broken, you know, because it will be even more difficult in marriage. The tradition in our society is just to get married, that's it. You have to get married. But if someone is broken, his personality is not healthy, he never saw, or they never saw a healthy relationship, they never had a model of a good family. Without knowing how to build family, people are getting married, and then children who was born in such families, they also do not have a model of normal family. One time, Pastor, you said that when you are a pupil in school, you have to be a best pupil. When you are a student in university, you have to be a best student. But when you are getting married, you should also be a best wife or best husband. Wherever you are, you should be a professional. You should be the best. So when I discuss with someone this question about marriage, I say, you want to get married, you have to be the best wife and best husband ever. When you don't know how to build relationship, you start to hurt each other. When children will be born, they also will be hurt. Before you are getting married, you have to work on yourself. No one can change no one can change past, but everyone can change future and prepare for it. If you don't want to hurt someone in marriage, you have to be fulfilled, you have to be happy before you are getting married.
Слава Богу. Я думаю, что это хорошо, что появилось больше заданий для молодых семей.
It is even better that there are more lessons for couples that are preparing for marriage. When I was doing this, going through this school preparation for marriage, there were only 70 questions. But now, now when I'm looking back, I can see that we have lived 5 years after we got married on very good level, because we knew how to solve many questions. I was blessed with this school, and we had only 70 questions. And now when you have 500 questions, I think it's a really a good basis for you, and I think you will be really blessed with this preparation.
И он потом, например, эта семья развалится, и он придет на небо к Богу, и что Бог ему скажет: зачем ты их благословил вообще, этих людей? Потому что я знаю несколько историй.
I know a few stories from other churches.
Есть знакомый, который там домашнюю группу к себе зовут. Ну, он хочет, ну, там еще обстоятельства. И у него такая ситуация. Он раньше ходил в другую церковь, и у него 4 детей.
I know one person who has 4 children, 4 grown-up children, and daughter of this person wanted to get a blessing from pastor, and she went to pastor in this church and asked for blessing for marriage, and pastor blessed this marriage without asking the father. So this father, he was really upset. This father, he was upset because he was not even asked for blessing. He wasn't asked for agreement for this marriage. And it's not right. I see that some families who were not prepared, they start to go to church. After they start to go to prayers, they start to live a holy life, and after they are getting divorced because they were just not prepared for marriage. You know, sometimes when I hear that Christian families are getting divorced, it is when I hear something like this, it is a shock for me. But now I understand why it happens. Because couples were not prepared. And unfortunately, in many churches, people are not expected to go through this school of preparation for marriage. So what do I want to say is that we are responsible. We are responsible to bring this tradition and these demands for new future families to be prepared for marriage. So we have this knowledge that we have to prepare couples before they are getting married. So we have responsibility to give this knowledge to other generations, and as missionaries, as people who are going on missions, we have to spread this knowledge and to show this where we are by keeping so strict rules, by demanding couples to prepare themselves and to go through this school. We are preparing our future. So Pastor says, so you are now protecting 500 questions that we have. Yes, because the teaching is very important, and these 500 questions is very important.
Говорила, что есть там разные церкви, то есть есть разные модели, то есть у них есть диаконы там и так далее, то есть у нас в церкви посольства одна модель, а у них там чуть-чуть другая. То есть и я не думаю, что нам нужно их там критиковать, потому что и у нас есть те, кто усердно, прилежно кто-то работает, а кто-то как бы так немножко отпустил.
I'm not talking about churches that some churches are right or some churches are wrong. There are different models in the churches.
У нас лидер домашней группы общается. Вот, поэтому и последнее, что я хочу сказать, что ну, по поводу домашних групп. То есть домашнюю группу нужно, ну, как мы можем делать? То есть домашнюю группу, чтобы создать, ее нужно работать с каждым человеком.
But this teaching is very important. One more thing I would like to say about home groups. Home groups is also very important for home groups also is very important for us to keep these traditions there, to prepare for couples for marriage. And now I would like to ask, what is the topic of today's fellowship? Unfortunately, we will not start our topic today because of the topic that we are discussing now.
Вы выходите. Бондо, выходите. Это отец у нас, дети есть. То есть, что я хочу? То есть, и вот когда мы создаем семью,
when we are building family,
проблем, много ответственности.
Vitaly, I would like to say that there will be a lot of problems and a lot of responsibilities and challenges, and what I wish for you is to meet all these difficulties and challenges, and to meet them being prepared. You will know how to solve them. I knew that Pastor Sunday, he had a very good family and very good relationship in family. And I was wondering, where did you get this right and healthy model of family? Because I understand that Pastor Bose, she had a model of family, because she had father and mother who was showing her how to build relationship. And what about Pastor? I thought, like, where did Pastor Sunday took this model, found this model? And Pastor, he answers, actually, we should not use the model of our parents. We should use the model of Word of God.
Те семьи, которые непримерные, например, в Америке, вот я самодостаточная, там, умная, знаю там много языков, да, зачем мне этот муж или зачем мне эта жена, я буду вот сам жить, а потом начинают уже влазить туда, там, лесбиянство, там, порнография и так далее, то есть это тоже, как бы, вредная модель, то есть нужно, чтобы был баланс.
I think that people who abroad in Europe and America who are not getting married and they are building a career only thinking about their business, etc., and then when they are when it's late, they cannot get married already, and then there are some dependencies, some addictions are developing, like so there should be some kind of harmony. So there should be something like a middle, golden middle. Pastor said, we have a topic that is very deep, so we cannot start it now. But I think that we were blessed by today's fellowship. We were blessed because we heard a lot of good examples. Pastor, I would like to say thank you, but to this thank you is to say nothing. Let God bless you. I believe that where there is a purity, there is a strength. You are an example for us. He's saying to the couple, I wish you to be a testimony for other people. When I was young, we didn't have this possibility to go through these 500 questions. The time is changing, and time brings its new conditions. But I think it's a blessing. Many churches, they are just taking care of keeping purity of the couple before marriage, but it's not enough, because the couple has to be prepared.
не книжники фарисеи, а как власть имеющиеся. Эта церковь я просматриваю, чтобы не как вот фарисейское учение.
And for me, what I think is that this teaching is not like a teaching of a Pharisee. It's a teaching, practical teaching, teaching that will help.
Чтобы надо было мне записаться пастору на неделю раньше, чтобы я свидетельствовал. Этот самый. То есть было такое, чтобы вот суженый, чтобы начинать домашнюю группу.
Sometimes in the church it is there are a lot of rules that are controlling everything. And let's say if you want to say a testimony in the church, you have to get into the list for testimony 1 week before the Sunday ministry. Sometimes to start a church, you have to have to start home group. You have to have a blessing from senior pastor. Sometimes in the churches there are a lot of rules that are controlling. But regarding this preparation for marriage, it's important. And I dream that my children also will be getting married through such a preparation. So, and I want to hear many testimonies like I heard today. All the fellowship was for you today.
Раз уже тема нарушена немножко сегодня.
Since the topic we have missed, so I will continue this. I would like to say something about church. Today I was on retreat. Who missed retreat, you should understand that you have missed something very important. I got an understanding that the church is special because the systems are inside in the church everywhere. There are people of system and people that are out of system. People of system, they do not have. They are looking at problems in different way. If there are 500 questions to be answered, people of system, they think, okay, how can I do it? When they have to work at 10 o'clock, at 10 years old, they think, okay, how can I do it? You just change a system. You just change system.
И людей, смотрю, стало становиться все меньше и меньше. 2 ретрита вот отменились, я их ждала, очень хотела на них попасть. И, ну, вы знаете, мне кажется, что даже если у вас был кризис, просто начинайте приезжать опять на ретриты, на общение. Все в порядке.
So it is important for you if you have crisis, if you have some difficulties, the best thing for you to do is to come to retreat. We found out that system is what gives a result. And you know, I do not know other people who is teaching about systems in Ukraine. Do you have any questions? Would you like to know something? Would you like to discuss something else? If no, I will let you go. I have a question. I have a question about calling.
Сегодня общались с братом. Вот, например, бывает такое, что знаешь уже свое призвание,
Sometimes you know your calling,
но на это призвание нужно тоже ресурсы бросать, там, свою жизнь.
but you have to spend a lot of resources for this calling to become real. But there are a lot of also needs that you have to cover. Also, you need time for this, and you need finances for this. So you have a question what to do. First to cover all your needs and after go to do your calling, or first you should do your calling and after you can and after you will find all these resources also for your needs. You know, you should look in YouTube. There was a fellowship, Sunday fellowship, on topic how to fulfill your calling and cover your needs. I ask this question because, of course, I want to fulfill my calling. You should. I recommend you to go and look at this topic, fellowship topic, on YouTube, and you will solve this problem by listening to this. Topic. You see, when you start to practice in life, it is difficult. You know, I think that you didn't hear. I think you didn't hear this topic. You didn't watch this topic on YouTube. That's why you are asking those questions. Okay, Pastor, if there is no time, I thought that I can ask question like this. And Pastor says, yes, you can ask, and this is the answer. The answer is like this. You can look for it on YouTube. Pastor, I have a question about Bible script. When Jesus said to his disciples about people who were getting married and about those people who are not getting married at all, they have they have strength not to get married. You just answered this question. I don't understand the question. You just said that there are people who are getting married and those people who are not getting married. That's it. He's asking how is it in God Embassy. What about God Embassy? Everyone decides by himself. What are the how to understand if I am called to be married or to be not married? The only thing that you will get when you are not married is that you are free from 500 questions that all people who are preparing for marriage. And of course you should not sin. You have to keep yourself pure.
Рождение скопцы их, или как-то так называют, что вот им не хочется, короче, ни женщине, не хочется, нет симпатии. И вот типа они, заключают завет безбрачия. А так, если родился, есть симпатия к мужскому, женскому полу,
Maybe the question is like this: how to understand you are called to to make a family or not, and the question, as I understand, maybe is about do you feel, do you have desire or not? Well, what Pastor said, well, what I understood, he is not asking about do you have desire or you have not desire. I think everyone has desire to have to have relationship with women. No, it's not about desire. It's about decision. You have to just to take decision. For example, Apostle Paul. Do you think that he didn't have desire of women? No, he just wanted to serve God, and that's why he took decision. Of course, he had a desire, but he took decision to serve God. Maybe I didn't understand your question. I asked many pastors. I asked from friends. I asked through other people I asked Pastor Bosse through other people.
Такое не приветствуется, чтобы не жениться, да? Почему? Большинство свободы не имеет предложения по этому поводу. Каждый это свобода человека, свобода личности. Каждый для себя принимает решение, жениться ли ему или нет. Это не вопрос церкви.
So the question of this young man is there some kind of statement in Embassy of God that you have that you like a statement like in Orthodox Church when you are promising that you will not get married, you cannot change this decision in the future. Pastor answers, no, it's not in our church. If you take decision not to get married, you don't have to share this with everyone or something like this. You just live by you just live your life as you decide. You decide not to get married, you get married. Why there should be some kind of statement in the church? If you decide to get married, you are getting married. If you are not deciding to get, if you are deciding not to get married, you are not getting married. That's it. It's you are free to take your decisions.
У вас сложены чемоданы. У меня вопрос. Расскажите, пожалуйста, о времени, проведенном в Украине, отношения людей, на ваш взгляд, и о ценности, которые вы вложили, и какой результат, на ваш взгляд. У меня большая просьба. По одному, да. По одному. И у меня большая просьба сказать не то, что нужно нам услышать, а то, что в вашем сердце находится.
I would like you to ask to answer my questions, not what we can accept, but what is a reality, real answer to questions. And I have 5 questions. In the beginning he said it's 1 question, but actually it's 5 questions. What do you think about the people of Ukraine? First question: which changes you did in these people? What do I think about people of Ukraine through this all this period? Do you want me to say what is my view, or how these people treated me? So do you want me to say what do I think about people, or what
Что я могу ответить на этот вопрос по-разному.
I can answer to this question in few ways. I just have to understand what is your question. If you're talking about my feelings, and my experience,
Каким впечатлением я уезжал об Украине? Как ко мне отношение? Это одно.
if you're talking about feelings, it's one thing. But if you are talking about people of Ukraine as I know for now, not as I feel, not as I was treated, but how as I know about Ukraine, what I learned and understood about Ukraine, what do you want to hear? Do you understand what is the difference? Do you understand the difference? What answer do you want? Which question, I mean, you want to hear?
Один и второй.
And both. I would like to hear both.
Хочу один и второй.
I would like to know both answers. My feelings about this time that I spent in Ukraine. It's very positive. I can say that I will remember Ukraine with gratefulness. I will think about these people as very kind people. I will remember that Ukraine is blessed and warm nation. It's not because of Ukrainian people is like that. It is because because of those relationships with people that I had that were surrounding me. But this is my impression. So there are a lot of experiences that people are getting in Ukraine, but I believe that I was surrounded by the best people in Ukraine. I was lucky that I got a lot of kindness, and I can remember warm relationship, no bitterness, no. I'm not angry or something. I am happy. So this is my personal impression. Okay. If we will say about what I know about Ukraine, Ukrainian people, as expert, as an anthropologist or sociologist or psychologist, like as a person who is experienced as a professional, is that these people will have a lot of suffering yet, unfortunately. People, three most important values, maybe out of those 100,000 people, maybe only one person will say the right values, the most important right values. And because of this, it will be difficult to raise strong people. What do I mean by values? If I will say now the most important three things that must be the most important in life, these three things will be like nonsense, will be heard as nonsense for not only for Ukraine, but for all ex-USSR countries. I will say that the most important thing in life is not children, is not family, is not money. All these things will be as nonsense. If I will say that the most important thing in life is self-education, it will be a shock. No one would even think about this. If people would write 100 most important values for their life, maybe self-education will be not among those 100 values. Or next value is to serve to other people, ministry to other people. It's one of the important values, but no one will even think about this as about a value. But no one will think here, but abroad. People will say that it's important and it's among the values of each second person. If I will say to you that the relationship is the very valuable thing, most people would not even think about this, because we do not respect even our parents. We don't have values, and that's why it is difficult to do anything in this country, to build anything. This is one of the reasons I have to leave, because I have done what I had to do. Those people who all you had opportunity to learn from me and to become a different person here, but however, I think that new generation already was born here in Ukraine, and this generation once will build a new culture, new values, and this generation will grow. And I think it's generation that I bear. But today, the lack of those people is huge.
И третий вопрос. За все время проживания на Украине вы вложили свою...
Another question.
Мы разделили первый на два. Следующий вопрос.
Next question.
За все проживание на Украине вы с первого дня вкладывали в народ Украины свое время, жизнь.
All the days that you spent here in Ukraine, was living here in Ukraine, you were given a lot, investing a lot in our people. What result do you see today?
Совершенно верно. Да.
I think that you want to hear about those results that not that all people see, like 1,000 amount of church. Like, you want to hear something like what I see, yeah? The multiple churches, what you see now, it was my mission. Then to raise and send missionaries even to Arab world. This process is running already, and it is what everyone can see. But what you can see that the name of Embassy of God and Pastor Sunday is well known in society, and I think that it is not an easy thing to make your name valuable. You have in Ukraine so many pastors, but you cannot name most of them. So it is difficult to become person of national value, national level. Yeah. My books are in all towns, cities, and villages, and even my books will be in every family even. We have a comedy club on TV, and even comedy clubs they are mentioning our name of Embassy of God and Pastor Sunday. It is also says that national folklore is also using this name. We have in this country, which is the mother of Orthodox churches in Russian field, we have become the most the biggest church, and also your pastor became a face of Kiev in 2009. We have more than 1,000 churches. Our social ministries, they touch about 5 million people every year. It is also a huge work about rehabilitation centers. When you are talking about rehab centers, it is really difficult not to mention an Embassy of God. Most of people we are beginning 200 to 250 churches a year. It means 20 churches a month we are opening. And even not this is the result that you are asking for. I think you are asking about how do I see my work. This is the most. This is more difficult to answer. Everything that you heard just now, it is more simple to talk about my work and my results.
Если я скажу, что у меня не было результата или не было достойного результата, это будет, наверное, было бы несчастье.
If I will say that I didn't have a good result, it would be not fair. But I can say that I have a result different from what I wanted to see. I think the result, the mark, let's say, from my result is 4 out of 5. I could bear a new generation. It is clear that Pastor Sunday have raised a new generation. Doesn't mean if it's Embassy of God or now another churches. I bear these new people. Even those people who left Embassy of God, still they live by those values that I gave them, that I taught them.
этим я могу вспоминать, этим могу утешаться, этим могу гордиться,
I can proud by with this.
это могу вспоминать.
I can remember this.
Как я ценю мои эти годы здесь. 30 лет в Советском Союзе.
30 years I am in in ex-Soviet Union. 20 out of them in Ukraine. And I would value those years as a school. It's a time of school, of study. I think it was very good school. It's ideal. It is an ideal description of my years here. Very deep school, very good school. And what I learned here, I invested same as 7 years in Belarus. 7 years in Belarus was a school that gave me a result that I had in Ukraine. So those 20 years that I had in Ukraine will give me such a result that will help me to become a person that have a huge impact. Maybe few people in the world will have such an impact. Third question I didn't hear yet. The third question?
У меня закончились вопросы. Нет. Чемодан сказал,
Не чемодан.
He already questions is gone already. There is no more questions from this person.
Надежда Стенина. Драгоценный пастор Сандай, такие как Дарья и Виталий, это новый генофонд.
We are reading now comments from internet. Pastor Sunday, we are so happy for future generation and what you are. But Pastor says it is already a different topic. Let's discuss what you think about these questions that I have answered. Will we have crisis in Ukraine, and for how long? Crisis in Ukraine will continue until this system of values will not be healthy and normal. The system of values that we have today will continue the crisis until it will change. I started business in 2006, and after 7 years, I just started to not to lose money, like I had zero, and I said, thanks God that I have reached to this level that I don't have zero. And I was praying and asking God, what should I do to start to grow and have more? And God answered, just continue to do what you was doing, but don't do those mistakes that you were doing for those 7 years. So what I want to say that also for you, Pastor, it's a new time starts. I would like to ask this person who asked questions to come here. Now I have question to you. I would like to know what motivation and what is the reason for you to know those questions that you asked. That's the first question. Second question. I'm interested to know how do you think you got answers to your questions? And third question. The answers that you have got, is that what you expected to hear? Or you didn't expect those answers? Thank you for your questions.
Я вопросы задавал не только себе, а тем людям, которые нас смотрят, которые здесь сидят.
These questions was not only for me, or was also for those people who are here listening and listening online. I wanted for us to hear what is Ukraine and how it can change. I was interested in your point of view, because today's retreat, I understood that there is a huge difference with I have noticed that there is a reason between the system thinking and analytical thinking. About results and what you didn't hear, what do you mean? I can answer if I will understand what exactly you wanted to hear. You told us things that I was expecting. I wanted to hear something that I didn't see, didn't expect. Well, I didn't understand what I didn't say from those things that you were expecting. How do you think, how much ready we are to change? Do we have a hope? You will leave us, and how do you think we will continue without you? Because you was asking us how we will continue to move without you. Why did you ask us about this? So your question is how much we are prepared. Do you mean Embassy of God, right? You mean if I am not interested with how unbelievers will move further. I am interested about Embassy of God, how we will move further when you will leave us. I didn't understand what you asked, because you said the nation of Ukraine, and that's why I was giving you an answer about the nation of Ukraine. Of course, if you are talking about us, Embassy of God, of course, it is a different question. What do I think about people, generation that was raised in Embassy of God, and I am leaving them? I think that people will be surprised that I do not dream to I think that people will be surprised to hear that I did not dream to leave a church after me going away. This is not my dream, because Jesus said that I will build a church. Jesus said that He will build the church, you see? This is His church. But what I would like to live, is, I mean, to stay after me, is a new generation. Conscious generation that is living in conscious mind. A generation that knows what they want. People who understand who is God. People who will be ready to pay their price to stay on the position they have earned. If it will be in the church or out of the church, it doesn't matter. It must be a generation of people. The question is, did I succeed in this? I think that I didn't have a huge success in this. I had succeeded more in building the church, because I spent 15 years building the church, and I thought that if I build church, I raised the generation, but it was a wrong expectation. Many times I was thinking that if I would spend those years that I spent to build church, to build a new generation, I would have even better result. But church can become a strong new people, a new generation. With years it is possible. I would like to thank God for the years of crisis, the years that were the most difficult for me, years when I felt I was treated badly, and I felt the most wrong things. I lived the most wrong things that is possible here in Ukraine. Not fair. But this is a coin that has two sides. But it's like a coin that has two sides. Bad experience is what I just said. But from other side, it will not be true to say that it's only bad experience. This time, the most difficult time, was the best time, because at the time my eyes could see that I was doing I was given the most attention to build church leaders, but because of the crisis I understood that maybe in other countries this model will work, but here in Ukraine it won't work, and here in Ukraine I had to build a personality. There are not enough personalities here in Ukraine. There were people, but not personalities, not strong personalities who would be able to continue what I was doing. That's why at this time, in time of crisis, And thanks to crisis, I started to work on this, to build personalities. I believe that I have built a foundation. I believe that believers they could see that it is not enough just to come to church, to pray, to dance, to feel joy. It's not enough. You have to become a personality, and you have to build yourself. You have to position yourself different in this world. I don't think that I already built such a generation, but I think I already laid a foundation, and there are separate personality who were built, and they will move forward to bring this philosophy of building a new generation for God, generation that will be able to fulfill all God's plans for Ukraine. It's a general answer. I can give it more detailed. If it's needed, I can give more details. Did I answer your question? I still have some more questions. Can I ask them?
Вы нас спрашивали, мы останемся в тех же действиях без вас, в которых мы шли. Сможем ли мы устоять? Я вас хочу спросить. Вы верите?
You asked us on retreat, are we going to be doing the same things we were doing, or we will change or do you believe that we will stay the same or we will change? I do not believe that the Church of Embassy of God can do it, but I believe that separate people from separate persons from Embassy of God can do it. So that's why I can say that not the Embassy of God is the generation that I'm talking about. It's just few separate personalities then will be able to do it. Personalities that learned how to build themselves as a personality. So I think that the movement of Embassy of God maybe will become just as a church. It must be a structure that is everywhere, in every area of society, every place, like it is now. It goes everywhere. You see, maybe in the future it will be just a church. Maybe just separate persons will continue to move like this everywhere.
Уйдет пастор, рассеется овцы. Слово должно исполниться. Как вы видите, церковь посольства больше.
Next question is that the Word of God says that when pastor will leave, sheep will also be lost. What do you think about this? Pastor answers that, you see, I do not see a Church of Embassy of God that it is the result that I want to stay after me. I want an Embassy of God I don't want to be Embassy of God to be a structure as a structure of an Orthodox church. It's not the aim. My expectation is that all churches of Embassy of God will be going everywhere, moving everywhere. Every church to move separately as separate structure, a separate organism, instead of being like a huge structure, like an Orthodox structure, when there is a head and then a head of the church and then I would like, instead of this huge structure, I would like to have separate structures, organisms, maybe a network, maybe some kind of cooperation between those churches, driven by love and desire to build something together, like relatives, like brothers. But I wouldn't like it to continue. The comment is that people, they say that they like this. I wouldn't like a Church of Embassy of God to be like monolith, like monoculture. I would like all churches to be moving separately, but like relatives. But it doesn't depend from me. It depends. It depends from each pastor of the church. So if any pastor of the church stays here, they shouldn't lose their community. The community should stay, and this is the reason I was staying a little bit part of the church, so that every church will become independent and separate. First 15 years, everything was dependent on me. I was a person who was directing everything, but now I can see that many churches are independent. And I believe that when I will leave, many pastors who are in other pastors' church, I think that those pastors, they will not be able to cooperate anymore, and maybe they will become a separate church. Like they will be all the children of this church, but everyone will continue to do their ministry as they see. So I understand that I understand that hierarchy will be changed. Maybe it will be like hierarchy as it is now, it will be destroyed. What do you think, how you will communicate with all these people? I think that I will leave, yeah, but I will be coming time to time, and I think that this will be the reason for all pastors to come together and to build relationship. Of course, when I leave, I would like to build relationship with all pastors, with all churches, but I will not be demanding. I will not be conditioning. I will not be.
Я не буду это выставлять как условие. Я буду, я уеду и все.
I will leave, and that's all.
Только общаться с теми людьми, которые будут сами предлагать.
And I will just communicate with those people who will find their own way to build relationship with me. Does anyone has more questions? Then maybe we can read the comments.
Елена Узунова. Pastor Sunday.
Pastor Sunday.
К вам. Спасибо вам за новый
With a great respect, thank you for new generation.
Суровикин. Любая попытка избежать напряжения в чем-либо потом будет человеку очень дорогого стоить.
Any desire to escape
Спасибо за пастыря Сандей, за пастыря Андрея и пастыря Валентина Куксенко и анатомию брака. Людмила Мазалова. Прежде чем выйти замуж или жениться, нужно стать...
Не надо все.
Нет, сначала. Окей. Анна Кузнецова. Вопрос от Родиона Кузнецова. Пастор, расскажите о ваших планах, что конкретно вы планируете делать дальше, в каких основных направлениях вы сосредоточите свою деятельность?
When you will leave, where will you concentrate your actions? If I will leave, I will go most probably to Africa. Because as long as I live here, I think a lot about Africa, especially when I felt that people did not value what I was bringing here, and I was thinking that Ukraine was more lucky than even my country where I'm from. And I think that any country, and my country as well, they're jealous because I live here. I'm living here. And personally, I understand that as a human, you know, like I wouldn't like to do what I was doing here in Ukraine because I didn't get any gratefulness. No one is expressing gratefulness except a few people, few personalities for what I am doing. So as a human, like from the side of human nature, I would like to do everything what I was doing here to the country that would be able to value what I was doing. And every time when I was experiencing this ungrateful treatment, I was praying to God that He will give me a possibility to do in my country what I'm doing here. And I believe that Africa has more need that Ukraine has. It is more poor people. There are more poor people in Nigeria. And I would really like to help. I really know what to do. Maybe 30 years I gave to Ukraine, but if I would give the same time to Nigeria, I think Nigeria would become one of the leading countries in the world, and I know what to do and how to do, and I think it will be the same. I can do the same there. But I think people will accept me there more. That's why God, if God gives me such such a possibility, I would like to go to Africa and to do in Africa the same thing I did here. African people are grateful, and they are so grateful that if I will do just what I did here in Ukraine, I will have not 100,000 people, but I can build a movement that will have a minimum of million followers. And I think that everything that I did here is just a preparation. I have plans. I have already plans for myself that even tenth of millions followers I can have for first 10 years. And it will be like a people of population of Ukraine. And if I will do it there, and I'll have amount of followers as a population in Ukraine, then it's better to go there. Africa is half a billion. That's population. That's why it is impossible to do a movement with amount of followers same as Ukrainian population.
Надежда Стенина. Такую мощь, которую вы доверяете нам, лично для меня еще ответственнее и бережнее относиться к каждому вашему учению и быть достойным последователем. Низкий поклон.
Strength and such a power that you are given to us, it gives us a responsibility.
Елена Кушнаренко. Пастор, спасибо, что вкладывали в
You are
нас.
the Moses of our time.
Поэтому я прошу, чтобы вы организовали, чтобы на этой неделе стенографировали. Особенно начиная с вопроса.
I think it is a special fellowship meeting today, and that's why I would like you to do a stenography of what we just discussed, especially from the time I was asked these questions.
Я відчула смак самоосвіти і роботи над собою, і це мені подобається.
Thanks to your books, Pastor,
підприємцем Львівщини серед 110 тисяч
I
підприємців
became
є ваша заслуга і
best
ваш вклад.
entrepreneur through the out of thousands of entrepreneurs in Lvov city. This is what I was saying, that there will be personalities. Yes, the church will be continuing to develop, but it is not the most important thing I have done. The most important is those followers, separate personalities that I have built. Maybe they heard me, and thanks to them, it will be my best result. But of course, I gave so many years and work to the church. It will continue developing, but if church would hear what I was saying, who I am, and would understand my heart, it will be totally different. Maybe after I will leave, church will be treating everything that I was saying differently, and maybe everything will change. And sometimes it happens like this. Thank you, Pastor, that you lay the foundation necessary
Ваших книг уже достаточно, чтобы дать
To-
жизнь самим себе, и
Your
потом
your
возродить
books
тех,
is
кто
enough
нас
to give life to ourselves and
Еще раз
then
спасибо
give
и
to
низкий
other
поклон.
people. Thank you again.
Людмила Мазалова. Истинно так, мы должны быть лучшими во
It is
всем, в
truth.
том,
We have
что
to
мы
be
делаем.
the best in what we are doing.
Олег Кемерин. Спасибо за пастыря Андрея и пастыря Валентину Куксенко и анатомию брака. И это уже те, что были. Всё.
Thank you. There is a comment greeting Pastor who is doing the anatomy of marriage.
Было приятно с вами пообщаться.
Thank you, everyone. It was nice to be here with you. Pastor Sunday, I would like to say when you was asked a question, what did you think about Embassy of God, and what you would do when you leave? What I could see, I could see some kind of light behind you, and I thought maybe it's something like my imagination. I looked at other people and I couldn't see this light. I started to look at you again and I could see this light again. And what I understood that God is with you always, and angels of God are protecting you always.
Мы почему-то говорили сегодня, как будто я уезжаю завтра.
We was talking today like I am leaving tomorrow. I don't know yet when.
Ну, по крайней мере, то, как мне известно, кто как говорят в суде, суд еще может продолжиться еще 10 лет.
It depends on.
Если Бог... Если Бог не вмешается.
It depends on the court case. It may continue for 10 years, next 10 years. However, it depends on God if He will change it. We don't know. But from prognosis of the case as it goes now, it is 10 more years to be continued. But it's up to God to change it. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, you know today. It's a normal Ukrainian thing. They want to say something, and they say so many.
The easier thing is to translate fast.
Yes. He is more better.
But the Ukrainian word, and the idea is just, yes. I know. I'm so tired. We had the anniversary in the English church.
Yeah.
That's the boss.
Your name?
Huh?
Your name?
Mine?
No.
Oh, hello.
Okay.
You are
Yeah.
here.
My name is Katerina.
Babu. Babu.
Okay. Надо
Thank you. I wanted to help, but I know it was towards ending. So I was like, let me just listen, because before you translate, you need to listen to have the idea. Hope to see you around. Your name again?
Katerina.